Hello from Sweden and welcome to today's video, which is about the hidden battle between the darkness and the light, and also about seeing through the self-sabotage and what is what. So all of us have darkness and light inside of us. All of us are born with everything, I believe. We have the worst in us and we have the best in us. And depending upon what kind of life that we have lived, our circumstances when we grow up and so forth, certain triggers has been um, drawn forth in us, and we have learned different coping mechanisms in order to survive, both emotionally and also physically and spiritually. So no matter what we have learned, it is very important, I believe, that we do not judge what we have learned because we have done the best we could with the skills we were given, and with the tools we had, and there's no such thing as a good person or a bad person, I believe. I just believe that we have different paths, we make different choices, and um, at the core, it is important to remember that because we do something doesn't mean that we are that. And that is where, when we truly understand this lesson, that forgiveness can be born. Because forgiveness is all about seeing through the behavior, which means that we see past it, we see through it. Like, for example, when you have a child, it is about that, at least this is how I view it. You have a child's behavior here, it may not behave very well, um, and it makes scenes or whatever, but you see the vulnerable child, the child that just starts for attention, the child that needs love, the child that are just trying to express him or herself in the best way he or she can for the moment, because the child doesn't know how to express his or her needs, you know, and it is always a longing for love at the core. And when we can see that in children, then we can also start to raise them better because we can actually meet them where they are. We don't just go and judge and say, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. No, we meet them instead at their level, at their core, where their true needs are. And in that, we can help them heal. Um, Not because a wound had been made dead, but we can actually prevent any wound or trauma to happen if we meet them at their level and where the problem truly is. And many of us were not met at the root level. We were not met where we needed to be met. So a lot of traumas has been created. And that also results in later on that we have this battle within us if we are filled with traumas and wounds, simply because that we carry that with us until they are met at the root level. So when it comes to the battle between the light and the dark and darkness, um, we have to remember that it is all a craving for love. So when you have a battle, should I do this? Should I do that? Because the subject today is also self-sabotage. I want to talk about the battle between the light and the darkness, and then include self-sabotage, because self-sabotage, as we think of it, is not really self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is something that matches the belief that we have within us about ourselves somehow. So we always do what we think is right, right? Even though that it may not seem logical, even though that we do things that are not good for us, we know this is not right. We always do what we emotionally have been taught through our experiences. It can be way back, or it can be in the present, it doesn't matter. But emotionally, we have gotten beliefs and experiences that taught us that this is the way that I cope the best. So that is why it is so hard to break self-sabotage, because somehow we feel safe in the familiar, in what we know, and in what we believe is true. And it can be that we believe maybe that we don't deserve certain things that are good for us. That is why the same people choose the same relationships over and over and over again, simply because they don't believe that they should have any better. And somehow they feel um, a sense of home in a relationship, in a type of relationship, because it's familiar. Maybe it was a destructive father, whatever, or a destructive mother. I don't know. But the point is that we actually have to understand that when we act according to self-sabotage, it is because we think that there is a win in it. And that is the battle between the light and the darkness, because not before that we have actually seen through everything that we believe serves us and everything that we believe do not serve us. We have to bring up on the table and see straight in the eyes, what it actually is, because not before we have done that can we actually start to change and go through and go towards the light fully. Um, and that is the whole battle. The battle is always within us. No matter if we have setbacks in the outside and all of that, it is always about how we choose to deal with it internally. If you have a setback in the outside, if you say to yourself, oh, see, I knew I was worthless, I knew I couldn't do this, or if we just say, okay, then it was not meant to be, maybe I had something to learn, I will see what I had to learn from this, and then I will do the next right thing, and it is two completely different ways to handle it, but both of the ways are how you are dealing with it internally, and that is what will determine the outcome for yourself. Maybe not always in the outside, but believe it or not, what I think at least is that it is not about the outside, it is all about the inside, how much you win of yourself. Because it is always what we truly want, is to win ourselves. It is to win self-respect, truly feel love, self-love, and that we are cared for. But that comes from doing the right thing in all areas of our lives. Self-love is not just about going to the spa and have a nice time. That can actually be self-destructive if done because of the wrong reason. It all has to do uh, with how we view it. For example, if you go to the spa because you are um, if you go to the spa, but the real reason why you go to the spa is that you are escaping something that you should face, then it's not self-love, then it's just escape and it's destructive, and that uh, time wouldn't do you much good anyway if you use it for the wrong reason. But if you do it, but then you can do the same thing, but you have dealt with what you need to deal with before you went to the place to the spa, then it can actually be a real treatment, a good treatment for you, and it will actually help you relax and and what you say, and come down into yourself and all of that. And it is all about the intention at what we are doing in the whole. It is not just about one single area. It is about the whole area. It is a This way of thinking is like you can say a holistic way of thinking. You know, it's about the whole person and not just certain areas. So yeah, it is about seeing through the hidden faces of self-sabotage, because when we see through the hidden faces of self-sabotage, then miracles will start in our lives, because we will not feel that powerless anymore when we unlock what it is that drags us down. Then we really, really start to be the creator of our lives, when we take the full responsibility for everything, and when we take the power that has been given us, that is our birthright. Yeah, that was what I was thinking about today about this subject. Um, I hope you got anything from this, and I wish you a beautiful